Welcome to Exploring Fredericton Homes. I'm Chris Turner.
And I'm Trevor Thurrett. In this episode, we're going to explore glamping, or glam or dome camping. If you're not familiar, a little more glamorous version of camping.
Up first, we're going to go to Ridgeback Lodge in Kingston Peninsula, where we're going to meet Sky Davenport. Tell me about this one.
This one is Skyview Dome number 3. And it's is probably one of our most luxury accommodations.
So Sky, what made you decide to get into the dome business?
I've always liked the outdoors, and I was looking for a life change and started looking for camping grounds or seasonal campsites and came across this beautiful resort and fell in love, and I owned it before I got home.
So were you looking clear across Canada and just happened to find...
I was looking more towards this side of the coast, Nova Scotia. I even looked in Newfoundland a bit, but I've always loved New Brunswick. I used to come camping here in Fundy when I was a little girl, and I've always loved the East Coast.
And Ridgeback Lodge has sort of the reputation as being the originator when it comes to the domes and this type of camping,
yes.
At least in the area. So tell us sort of a little bit about the history of Ridgeback.
So I'm actually the third owner of this property as cabins, second owner as Ridgeback Lodge. Okay. So it was originally just cabins where people would kind of congregate together. Then a couple from the Netherlands came, bought the property, and they brought the domes over from Europe. And started that, I believe it was 2011, and they had 4 domes on here when I purchased the property.
Okay, and how many domes would there be now?
We have 7 year-round domes and 1 seasonal one.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And how do you find, is the winter busy when it comes to the year-round?
It is fairly busy. My cabins are really busy in the wintertime with the wood stoves inside, but the domes, I think some people can be a little nervous that they can be a little bit chilly, but the ones that we have opened all year round stay toasty warm no matter what type of temperature it is outside. I've even had people in them when it's hit -30 and everything was toasty warm.
So when it gets nice and cold, do people stay for an entire weekend?
So it is normally a 2-night minimum, so my weekends are Friday and Saturday nights. 90% of the people stay that. The people that come back time after time always stay longer.
And you have wood-fired hot tubs as well?
Yes, we do. All of the accommodations have their own private wood-fired hot tub. We don't use chemicals in them, so they're a nice like bathtub outside.
Okay. And who would you say is your target demographic? Like, who do you...
We kind of target more couples. We like the romantic getaways. We do a lot of honeymoons and anniversaries. But we do also have a lot of girls' weekends or mother-daughter type visitors as well. So.
Do you ever have situations where people will try to rent out all of your cottages?
I do. I actually have one group that comes in once a year. They're booked in August. They're a great bunch of people, and they book the whole resort.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're a bunch of teachers, I believe, so they get their summers off, and they always, every year, come here.
Okay. And when you took a look at the business model, were there things that you know what, I could do better, or I could improve this? Have you made many changes to the format of the business?
A lot of the stuff that they had in place was exactly what I kind of wanted for our business. We like the idea of adults only, nice quiet getaway, because I live right on site, so I enjoy a nice quiet house as well. We've upgraded things. I'm a little bit more into the luxurious side of things, so we've added, better linens, more comforts like bedding, better beds, and extra tables, stuff like little things.
Right, upgrading the quality.
Yeah.
And would you say that your units are private?
Very private. All of our units are designed around privacy. Most of them you cannot see another accommodation from that unit.
Where do the stairs go?
So that's a nice little lounge up there that you can enjoy viewing the stars at night. There's a little bed that you can relax in. And these beautiful stairs here my husband Mike made.
How much work is it to look after a place like this?
It's not the easiest job, but it's not super hard. I mean, there's one staff member that helps me with all the day-to-day cleaning.
Right.
The biggest is the emails that I have to keep up with and a few phone calls, but we've got everything set up really nicely that all the instructions are in place when you show up. I don't get a lot of phone calls while people are here requiring anything. We have dialed in all of our techniques pretty good and have everything set up properly for all of our guests. But I'm saying, it's not the easiest. There's always something to do here.
Where would you say that the majority of your business comes from?
New Brunswick for sure. I do have, out of country and out of province, but New Brunswick is probably a good 85%, 90% of my clientele, especially in the winter time.
Where's the farthest you've seen somebody come from?
Switzerland I had
wow.
just a couple weeks ago. We get a lot. Germany. We've had from all over the place here.
And what do you think it is that sets you apart from any of the other dome companies?
Probably the privacy of our domes, the cleanliness. I really make sure that that's number one priority, and the customer service.
So they all king-size beds?
Yes, we have king-size beds in all of my domes and my cabins too.
Nice. With the ductless split heat pumps?
The Skyview domes have the heat pumps and a wood pellet stove, and my Dream domes have wood pellet stoves and propane stoves.
What are some of the reviews that you've had? What do clients say about the?
Well, if you read any of our reviews online, almost all of them are 5-star. Everyone loves it here. Hot tubs are always the big wow factor. I have a few customers that have been here 10 times plus. Everyone, we have. I think it speaks for ourselves. We have with the amount of people that keep returning.
Right.
They just come back month after month. Sometimes they want to experience this place every season.
So it's kind of a unique business model where you're rustic on the outside, it's camping, but then it's luxury on the inside. So what is the appeal? What draws people in, do you think?
Well, there's a lot of people that don't like the camping aspect of having to use a porta potty or cooking outside, or if it's raining, they're stuck out there. We offer the luxury of indoor washrooms, full-size kitchens in most of our accommodations, beautiful, soft, luxury king-size beds. So I think that just appeals to a broader audience than just the camping, which we do offer that as well. If you like to be rustic, we have that as well. We do camping, we have off-grid domes, but we have everything right up to the 5-star luxury resort kind of feel.
And what are some of the other things that, like you mentioned, the king-size bed, the linens? I think you've talked about even having potentially some champagne for certain clientele when they arrive.
Yeah, we do romance packages, especially for honeymoons or anniversaries, or people even popping the question. We get a lot of that around here, where I have flowers all over the bed, champagne on ice with your champagne flutes, roses on display. It's just like a little rose petal pathway walking into your dome right to your bed. So
wow.
We really focus on the romantic side.
So you purchased right before COVID. How was the whole experience of going through COVID in a business like this?
At first it was a bit scary. Everyone was, freaking out, and we were trying to figure out all of our policies and made sure that we were compliant with all of the government regulations. But it turned out that we were already doing all of these things before COVID hit. We were able to run our hot tubs right through because we drain them between each guest. We scrub them, we sanitize them, and it's fresh water each and every time. So we never had that issue of having to shut everything down. We were able to stay open right through the whole thing, and we welcomed anyone that was willing and wanting to travel it worked out pretty well for us through COVID.
And do you think where you live right on site, does that impact the way that it helps the clients feel more comfortable knowing that you're here, you're on site and able to look after things?
I think so. There's a lot of people that sometimes need a little reassurance if they've never used something before, and a wood-fired hot tub is not something that everyone has used. So it is helpful that we are on site. I do have videos in the domes as well that kind of give you a once-over how to do it, but it does help people's peace of mind, I think, knowing that I'm just a quick phone call away or just come knock on my door and I'm always there for help.
Welcome back to Exploring Fredericton Homes.
In this next segment, we're going to head to Waterboro, just along the shores of Grand Lake.
Our own Isabella Torbinski will introduce us to our new friend Shaker, a co-owner of Glamp Camp.
Isabella, come, I'll show you the biggest dome we have here on Glamp Camp. Come right in.
So tell me about your dome Glamp Camp.
We started in 2019, just before COVID, so it was wonderful. So what we have here is we have an 85-acre property. We're right opposite Grand Lake. We have a wonderful beach right in front of our property. There's a public wharf there, so we are in Waterboro on Grand Lake.
So when did you start this business with the domes?
So we bought this plot of land in 2018. It took us about a year to construct the whole thing because we started everything right from scratch.
Okay.
The plot was completely wooded. It never had any roads or hydro or septic system, or there was nothing on the lot.
Okay.
So we started everything. We put the roads in, we put the septic systems, we planned or designed how to put the domes in each place.
Yeah.
And it took us about a year to put the whole thing up. And we started in 2019, and we've been in operation for the last 6 years.
So in that year that it took you guys to construct everything, was it like a natural process for you guys? Did you have any hiccups along the way that kind of stalled the plans?
Not really. Actually, it was a very smooth process, and we had wonderful contractors. We sourced all our contractors from the local area, so that was also to boost the economy and also to spread our name out so everybody knows what we have and what this whole project is all about. And it was also providing a lot of employment and pumping money into the local economy. That was the whole idea. But it was an absolute smooth process. We never had any problem with any government bodies or any restrictions or anything like that. It was just wonderful.
When you guys started the business in 2019, you said, was it an automatic hit, or did it take some time to market the process and the whole rental?
So we, being one of the pioneers in I think Atlantic Canada, it was a smooth process. We never had a problem for booking or staying, and it was a unique idea. We started way before anybody knew about what was happening or what the whole concept was. So it was pretty easy and simple. It was pretty good. We had wonderful bookings. We still have good bookings, but now they're popped up everywhere. So there are new themes, new ideas, but in general, it's a wonderful thing to have and run.
And with that being said, with different cottages and rentals popping up, different ideas, do you find that to be a struggle in regards to finding rentals, or is it still very busy?
It does a little bit because, newer domes have newer ideas, they have newer stuff, they have newer interiors, they have different looks. So it kind of makes it a little difficult, but in general, if you want to come and enjoy Glamp Camp, being right on Grand Lake, having beautiful trails, the property being absolutely beautiful, you're right in the woods, we have wood-fired hot tubs, and you can't see into any dome. All the domes are spaced out wonderfully. So I think we are an edge above everybody else, but yes, the competition does make a little bit of a difference, but I think we're okay. We're fine.
How many dome camps do you have?
We have 10 domes. Each one has a different theme. Each one has a different look to it, a feel to it, but they all come with hot tubs, barbecues, picnic tables. They're all well insulated. they're heated, they have air conditioning.
So you mentioned you built all of these domes from scratch. How long did this one take in particular?
This one took us about 4 days, and me and my business partner, we put this dome together, the framework, the metal framework. It's a very strong and sturdy dome. It is 15 meters in diameter. It's about 25 feet high. It's got a wonderful protective cloth on it, a polythene, a PVC cloth actually, it's a fabric. It took us about 4 days and about 10 guys to put it up. Once we had the base done, it was a pretty easy job. Since we had done 10 more, which are a little smaller in size, we were kind of used to the way to put them up.
So with this big dome kind of being in front of us, I see a lot of bikes, and it looks like different activities that you guys hold during the rentals. Do you guys have certain activities that you offer?
Yes, we do. So we have bicycle tandem bikes that you can rent. We have a beautiful trail at the back that you can jog or go for a walk. We have kayaks. We have snowshoes for the winter guests. Again, the trail for the winter guys. Since we have the beautiful lake here, you can go onto the lake for ice fishing. We have a beautiful beach across the road from us. You can swim, put your boats down in there. You have all kinds of activities for everybody. We have wonderful, in the summertime, we have a couple of outlets here that sell fresh farm produce. So you can avail like fresh corn, strawberries, tomatoes. And generally there's always something to do. We're not too far from a lot of good attractions. You have Fredericton, which is only about 60 kilometers away. You have Sussex, where you can go to the caves, or it's a nice small little town to visit. We have Moncton, which is about an hour and 10 minutes away. We have St. John, which is a beautiful harbor town also, which is only about an hour away.
We now return to Exploring Fredericton Homes. I'm Chris Turner.
And I'm Trevor Thurrett. As we continue this episode, we'll explore more about the Glamp Camp with Isabella Torbinski.
This is our biggest dome we have here on Glamp Camp. It is 15 meters in diameter. It's about 25 feet high. It's wonderful. You can hear the echo too, I think, when we're in here. It's a wonderful space. Everybody, when they see this dome, they understand how huge a dome can be. I think this is one of the biggest domes in Atlantic Canada. I haven't seen one as big as this. So we use this dome for a lot of things. I mean, say you're using the beach, you can come here. We keep our kayaks, our bikes here. So, you know, the question you had, where do you have your kayaks and stuff? So those are the kayaks we have. These are the tandem bikes we have. The doors are always open, so you can come in anytime you want, use our facility. We have no problem. The other thing that we have this space is for the guests who have already stayed with us. And let's say they come and use the beach, the public beach. They're most welcome to use our facility because they are our guests.
So my next question was actually going to be, how did you guys decide on this location in particular?
So when I used to drive a tractor trailer, and every time I went from here to Moncton or Halifax, this exit or this area really felt like home, or felt something like there is something here. So I was just exploring those possibilities. So one fine day, me and the wife were driving down this road, and then we saw this property for sale, and there was something that really attracted me to this property. And I don't know, and then things just fell right into place after that.
So in regards to employees, how many do you have that help you run the business?
So we have 2 employees. So we have somebody who does housekeeping, and the other one takes care of the general property, the maintenance of the property, and then, you know, the hot tub, looking after the hot tubs and the barbecues, and generally keeping the property up to date.
On a day-to-day, what does running this business look like?
So right now we have streamlined our operation, being in business for the last 6 years. So we know exactly what we need, we know what our clients need. We kind of have come down to a perfect science of what we need and what we don't. But for a day-to-day running this operation, you got to make sure that everything is neat and tidy. You got to make sure everything is sanitized, everything is looking presentable. I think that's the main thing that we look into. Apart from that, day to day, there's not much unless there's a client that has some specific needs or there's some specific wants, then only. Otherwise, it's a very streamlined, comfortable operation. It's a very smooth operation.
So in regards to certain clients having specific needs, certain customers having specific needs, what is the general customer that would book a rental from you?
So we have customers of all kinds. So we have a lot of clients coming from the US, we have clients coming from different provinces, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia. We have a lot of clients coming from northern New Brunswick. And generally, everybody is they know what camping is. I mean, it's not a new thing.
Yeah.
The only thing is, the latest thing is the glamping part of it, which is basically glamorous camping, which has now become glamping. But everybody knows what to bring.
So tell me a little bit more about winter camping.
Oh, that's one of the best seasons, to be honest with you. It's when a lot of people book because the whole scene changes. The ground is high by about a foot. Everything is white. You have the beautiful evergreen trees. They look amazing with a lot of snow on them. The property looks absolutely like a magical winterland. It is beautiful. When the snow is falling, you can sit in the hot tubs. They're great. You can enjoy the hot tubs, the barbecues. We have a trail at the back which is about 3.5 kilometers long. We have snowshoes that we give out, so you can go back there. We have fire pits, so you can do your marshmallows or just sit around the fire, enjoy that. For other activities, we have Grand Lake, which is right in front of us. You can go snowshoeing. We have a few places which are very close from Glamp Camp, where we have some caves that you can go to also. But in general, the atmosphere here in Glamp Camp is wonderful. It's very pretty. The snowfall, the trees, the roads, being outside, everything just crystal clear. It looks beautiful.
So you mentioned you put all of these domes in and you bought this lot. How difficult was it to kind of clear it out and put the domes where you wanted them?
Well, once we got through the property and knew exactly how wide and long it is, then it wasn't that difficult. So we had a few very good contractors who led us also, or showed us how to put roads in, or where we should put them in. So it was a pretty easy and streamlined process. Only getting the work done it's a lot of work.
And you mentioned you have a very big lot, plenty of acres, 10 domes. How is the privacy in regards to each dome?
The privacy in our domes is absolutely amazing. You cannot see another person or another dome from your dome. You can see them, but in the sense you're not facing them, or they're not looking into your dome, or neither is. They're spaced out about 200 feet apart from each other, and there's lots of trees and woods in between. So you can see the dome, but you can't see inside, or you can't see anybody on the other side.
What is one of the nicest and most appreciative things you've heard from somebody who's stayed at your camp?
Everybody says our hospitality is very nice. We are very hospitable. We treat guests with uttermost respect. We tend to whatever they need. Our domes are absolutely clean. We address all the issues or any complaints or any suggestions. We accept all those. We have a wonderful guest book that we have. People have written wonderful stuff about Glamp Camp, and that is what we cash in on.